Now we actually want to get to some breaking news. We are getting in. It's coming just into our newsroom, and we are going to tune in. Let's take a listen.
What I can tell you is approximately 2:50 p.m. IMPD Northwest District officers responded to the 3900 block of Gable Lane Drive on a report of a person shot. Upon arrival, they located a vehicle that was crashed into another vehicle. Outside of the driver's side of the door was an adult male who was deceased on scene. IMPD homicide detectives responded and are investigating. Can tell you at this point there's one person detained. It is a male. I don't know if it's an adult or juvenile. Preliminarily, it appears that the vehicle was somewhere else in the complex when shots were fired. That vehicle drove away from the initial location where shots were fired, crashed into one vehicle, crashed into another vehicle, and that's where the apparent driver was located deceased on scene. Again, we do have one individual detained. Can't say for sure if it's a suspect or otherwise. We don't know the motive in the situation. It's very early on in the investigation. Certainly one of the things we want to determine is what occurred, why it occurred, who did it, and we're hopeful that members of our community, whether it be witnesses or individuals who have video surveillance, that they can provide that to us and help our detectives identify who is responsible for this incident. Anybody with information is asked to call the IMPD Homicide Office at 327-3475, or they can call Crime Stoppers anonymously at 262-TIPS. Now, portions of the apartment complex will be closed off for several hours as we investigate. The Indianapolis-Marion County Forensic Services Agency is on scene to identify and collect any forensic evidence. This is an ongoing investigation. We will be here for several hours, but again, we're asking anybody with information to contact our homicide office or contact Crime Stoppers, and that's what we have at this point.
There was a van and there was a van just a second ago inside the complex. What part was those two vehicles involved with each other? Was it the van and like the maroon car?
So the maroon car is the one that was involved, and that's the one that drove off and struck the van and then struck another vehicle. Reference Birdsell, there's no indication that this incident is in any way connected to the shooting on Birdsell, but again, it's always something that we look at. Two shootings that happen in a short period of time, we look to see are there connections. At this point, we don't have any information to believe that there are, but that will be certainly something that we look into.
Any update on that Birdsell one? We heard it was somebody shot. Any update on the condition of that person?
Last I have is the person was in critical condition, and we're hopeful that they pull through.
And going back to the two cars, so was it the two cars that were involved in this like dispute, I guess, for lack of better words? So the van and the maroon, sorry.
Yeah, no indication that the van was in any way involved other than that it was struck by the maroon car.
Nobody else injured? Nobody was in that car when it struck or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know if somebody else was in the car. I know that there are witnesses who are cooperating with the investigation. We're hopeful that that will lead to the identification and arrest of person or persons involved in this case.
Any indication if either party involved person detained, the person shot, lives at the apartment?
I don't have any information on that.
Do we believe the person was a juvenile or adult, or we don't know?
The victim is an adult male. The person who is detained is a male, and I don't have information on if they're juvenile or an adult.
What do you have to say just about people?
All right, so you've been listening to Indianapolis Metro Police giving us an update on that breaking news we brought you at the top of the show. A shooting on Gable Lane Drive, that's near 38th and Michigan on the northwest side. We understand a man was found shot and killed, and they are looking at detaining a person. Unclear if it's a juvenile or an adult, but it is a male detained. And apparently a car hit another car, drove off, and they found the person shot.
So as he just mentioned, it's very early in the investigation. We're also tracking the other shooting that happened on Birdsdall Parkway. That happened at a liquor store off of Birdsdall Parkway near MLK Street. We told you about that at the top of our show. Not sure if they're related or not. Both of these we will continue to monitor. That victim in Birdsdall, though, is in critical condition there. So we'll continue to monitor both of these. Head to our website. You can stay up to date there as well. But we got you covered until 6:30 right here on Channel 13.